The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman, downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. Regional Planning Commission meeting, March 17th, 2021.
Carol, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The March 17th Regional Planning Commission meeting has come to order. We open the public comments for all matters both on and off the agenda. Will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Commission reserves the right to reduce the time or limit total time allowed for public comment. Comments during discussion items may not be accepted from the general public. Commission may prohibit commentary if the content of the comments are woefully disruptive of the meeting or being slanderous, offensive, inflammatory, irrational, or amounting to personal attacks or interfering with the rights of other speakers. First, you're invited to submit comments in writing on the agenda items and or can make a comment on the item on the commission meeting. So we open it up to public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, on numerous occasions I've requested that this body use the county sound system at your meetings so that everyone can hear. I'm going to remind you that if I can't hear somebody, I'm going to interrupt you. Mr. Chairman, city curb gutter sidewalk requirements are not being enforced by your building inspector. He again is selectively enforcing the law in the color of law. He is intentionally committing malfeasance, nonfeasance, and misfeasance. This board, as well as Ely City Council, White Pine Commission, has been noticed numerous times by myself, and yet nothing has been done to date. We either have rules for everyone or we don't. This board cannot selectively enforce city and county codes, which apparently you're doing. You need to stop that. Mr. Chairman, I reported more than once about the new parking lot design for the convention center does not meet ADA requirements. To this date, you've not corrected that. Mr. Chairman, the Planning Commission, City of Ely has yet to address the city code violations by previous and present members of the Planning Commission, as well as some of the city councilmen and the county commission. They need to comply with city codes that they have, city and county codes that they have formulated and adopted or resign. You can't have a double standard, and it appears you do. Mr. Chairman, Planning member Carol McKenzie has yet to correct her non-ADA compliant sidewalk. Again, we either have rules and regulations or we don't. She adopted most of those rules. You have to live up to them, my dear.
You need to count.
Pardon me?
You need to look closer.
I've looked closer. That's the problem.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Chairman, the new marijuana dispensary Curaleaf is getting close, or has opened, excuse me. The sidewalk on 10th Street alongside their business is blocked by rocks, boulders, and a tree or shrub. You can't block ADA access. Not my rules, those are federal regulations. We need to address that. Mr. Chairman, how many discrepancies or deficiencies do I have to bring before you do something about your building inspector who is selectively enforcing law under color of law? There's a city ordinance in regards to horses. Keith Carson is yet to remove them on Parker and Crawford. This picture was from June 20th, 2020. Around the charter school, you have construction debris that has not been moved yet. That's an attractive nuisance. Down by the railroad next to the Cater Park, you have a boat that needs to be removed, broken glass, attractive nuisance. Again, we have rules and regulations or not. I presented these to you on more than one occasion. The community choir building, no building permit, no contractor. You have to go on after others. That needs to stop, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, time.
I need some answers, sir. Again, either we have rules and regulations for everyone or no one. I've not received any answers from you, and I want something.
Thank you. public comment? Okay, then we'll move to item A. Approval of an application for home occupation agreement. Applicant is Ryan Sandoval, and doing business as R&J's Mobile Wash.
Come on stage or? I'm Ryan Sandoval, also known as Bella. I'm a lifelong resident in White Plains County. I'm trying to conduct a business, a new business here in town. I have received my state license. There's all kinds of numerous businesses across the state are doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a high pressure wash. I'm able to do concrete buildings, parking lots, playgrounds, benches. I run water up to 180 degrees for steam, which helps disinfect against bacteria and viruses. I can do playgrounds. As far as I know, I'm the only business here in town capable of doing this sort of work. And I'm just trying to get a business going and start. If you guys have any questions for me, or what?
I have one.
What's that?
Are you going to be county-wide, go to all of the communities, or just stay within the city, city area?
Yeah, I have a state license, so I'm able to go anywhere in any county. If I need to work inside a city, I just need to go obtain their city business license, Eureka, comp, whatever, stuff like that. But yes, I have a state license that I can go do this. Buildings, gutters, you name it.
Does it do brick walls by chance?
I do.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm capable.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's capable of, it runs high pressure water up to 4,000 PSI.
Nice.
So, hot water, cold water, whatever you need. So, and the soaps that I do use are biodegradable, and, they're gonna be so minuscule that it's not gonna harm the environment, that I'm not putting a ton of soaps down. Yeah, so.
I think this is really good to have here in Ely, especially with us cleaning up a lot of the buildings.
Yeah, well, I'm familiar with how it's done, all this stuff. I have no questions on it. So.
I have no questions either. Sounds good.
Yeah. Paperwork's there and everything.
I'll move that we accept.
Fair second?
Second.
Okay, it is moved by Brad and seconded by Carol. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. It is approved unanimously. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Will.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Gotta go to work now. What's up? I see you. Hold on, back and get you.
Okay, on to item B. Approval of parcel map to merge and re-subdivide the parcels. Applicant is White Pine County Commission. General location of the subject property is East Ely Park Addition, Park Avenue and Avenue M, east of 7th Street, east, APN 002-271-14 and 002-271-15.
Good evening. Buzz Rosebeer, surveyor record. Basically, we're just making some small adjustments to the lot. They didn't fit the original plan of the subdivision. So we're adjusting those two lots to accommodate the home sizes that were scheduled for that.
Those are the two small adjustments on either corner.
Yeah, they made two small adjustments on either corner, taking acreage out of the large parcel.
Okay. And even things out a bit.
Yes.
You got somebody building?
I believe so. I think they're ready to kick off here any time now.
Good.
Any infrastructure going in there, Buzz, or?
Currently, I think most of the mass grading's been done, and I'm not sure if they've completed their water loop for that main coming through there. I know it's been staked, and parts have been ordered, but I'm not sure if it's in the ground or not.
Sure, okay. And then in those two adjustments, what's, like, I mean, I understand that we're trying to increase the size of the two adjacent lots. What does that do for that intersection? It's not going to be impacted.
Zero change to the right of the way.
Okay.
It's just expansion to along the north lot, the north and to the east, and then the south lot, south and east.
Okay. All right.
Initially, I think the plan was for some smaller footprints for houses.
Oh,
Didn't meet those, couldn't meet the setback requirements
gotcha.
with the
Okay.
floor plan that they're gonna put in there.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Roughly what size are they, Buzz? Those-
10,000.
So 100 by 100 on each one?
I think they were, or maybe it was 8,000. These are a little bit smaller. I think we got that map up here though. Yeah, 10,000, so they're 100 by
They're by one, yeah, 100 by 100. Okay, well, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with being corner lots, the setback really starts sucking up a lot of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're gonna get both frontages there.
Right, I was at 25 feet on the front, I think.
It, yeah, actually, I think
That's what it is, yeah.
for our own building.
Okay. Don't have any other questions?
That looks like pretty minor to me.
Are all these, do you know if all these other lots, are they roughly the same size as the corner?
No, the rest, well, the two in-lots will end up being fairly large, not quite that large.
Okay.
And I think they're ranging from 88 to 78, 76.
Okay.
You'll start seeing some of that stuff in your next meeting.
Okay, we'll be approving that kind of stuff. Okay, all right. Well, I have no questions. I move to approve.
A second.
Move to approve by Jason. Do I hear a second?
We have Andy as a second.
Okay, and Andy approves as a second. All those in favor of passing this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes.
Thank you, Buzz.
Thanks, Buzz.
Okay, item C. Discussion for possible action, approval of parcel map to subdivide parcel, applicants are James and Jennifer Colorico. Subject property is 1/4 section north, 1/4 section 13 and 14, township 21 north, range 64 east. Address and general location of the property is 4345 East Matter Creek Road, Ely, Nevada, APN 005-510-25. And shall move on to that.
Good evening, Greg Rivera with Solaris Land Surveying, representing the client. What they're doing here is the family parcels, and they're going to take 2 more parcels, 5-acre parcels, at the west end to give to the remaining 2 children.
So it's lots A through 3 and A2?
The 2 on the west. Yes.
And I mean, I know you sent the topo map on that, but as far as being able to impregnate it onto this map, are there any concerns about flooding in that area?
No, they're gonna, well, there is, this Matter Creek is to the south end of this,
Right.
so this is above the creek area. The
Okay.
creek area is to the south.
It's on the south side of this?
Yes.
Okay,
The southerly boundary is the north top of slope of the channel
oh,
of the
okay.
creek.
So the creek is on the Forest Service side?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
In this area, if you go further to the west, the creek meanders towards dissects some of the parcels.
Yeah, okay.
But in this area, it's on the north side.
On the north.
The boundary of the creek is on the south side of the parcel.
Okay. Okay. And it looks like road access is consistent that's already existing, right? That's an easement?
Yes, there is a private road and utility easement that came with the prior map that bisected all parcels, and these parcels, the roadway goes right through them.
Okay. Awesome.
Very good.
Looks good to me. I move to approve.
I'll go ahead and second.
Okay. Moved by Jason, seconded by Leah. All those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed to approval? Passes unanimously. Thank you so much. approval of parcel map and subdivision statutory death decree. Applicants are Catherine Bennett Thomas and Thomas Gerald Bennett. Subject property is 1/4 section northwest, 1/4 section 8, township 17 north, range 63 east. Address and general location of property is 3585 North State Road, 490, East of Hercules subdivision. Nevada, APN 005-620-04.
Greg Rivera, Solaris Land Surveying, representing the client. This was a 10-acre parcel to begin with, that the father owned, and when he passed, he decreed in his will that the two remaining family members get half of the property. So what we're doing here is taking the 10-acre and dividing exactly into two 5-acre parcels. Each parcel already has structures on it and have legal access to State Route 490.
Kind of a convoluted parcel.
Yes.
It's a little jog there.
That's where they wanted, because the owner said, I want my kids post here. Yes, sir.
Manufacturing boomerangs or something?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
No issues with utilities underneath. I mean, I know where the wells are here, but no like power variation.
Overhead power running down 490. And
Nothing.
there's already two structures there, they already have 2 meters, everything is there, they just need to legally create 2 parcels.
Gotcha.
So no change in DNA utilities at all then?
No, sir.
And separate septic systems, all that stuff.
Already in.
Okay, perfect.
And this maintains the greater, is it greater than 5 acres or is it greater than 3 acres that it needs?
These are both greater than 5 acres.
Okay.
They're 5.02.
Sounds good.
I don't have any other questions, I move to approve.
Okay, please move to approve, and second? I'll second. Jack seconds. Okay, all those in favor of approval of this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This is approved, thank you.
Thank you.
This is an interesting breakup. Okay, item E, approval and a reclassification.
Not approval, just discussion.
Open for public hearing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it changed in.
Okay, yeah, I missed that one. Okay, so we'll open up to a public hearing on this?
Here's this, if you want to change. Number 2 isn't on the printout.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we got a new phone, so things kind of fell through the cracks. Okay, this is okay, we open to a public hearing on reclassification of zoning application. Applicant is requesting property to be changed from MH2 zone manufactured housing subdivision to a C3 highway commercial business property address and their general location, township 16 north, range 54 east, section 22 east, Eagle, Nevada. The assessor, parcel number is 001-491-70. Applicant is Just Holdings, CC Burton Alliance, the Whitewood manager. Okay, we're opening that up to public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak in favor of this request. That property fronts Veterans Boulevard, I believe they call it now. We could use additional commercial property. This individual has a great record for development in this community, unlike others, and we should encourage that. This is not gonna injure anyone in and around him. The fact that he's got highway frontage just enhances their request. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public input? Anyone wish to speak on this?
Greg Rivera, Solaris Land Surveying, representing Pine. We just want to let everyone know that we're not changing anything drastically. We're actually matching some of the zoning. So, and that's fine on the bypass. So the C3 with highway frontage is perfect zoning for this particular piece of property. It also helps the owner develop in a more cohesive manner to work with what's going to be in the area, we hope.
Is it, this, you said this is on the bypass?
Yes, it's a fun.
And is it where there's been new fence put in and
That
someone
is-
has worked on that?
That is further to the west.
Oh,
This is where the 20, the sign is, it says 20 acres per second. This is that property.
oh,
Oh,
oh.
that's split up, I guess.
Okay,
If there's no other public
we'll
comment.
save the question and answer for
Just a technicality.
just a minor technicality.
That's why they don't like to come up now.
You're doing good.
Well, nobody else was coming
We'll
out.
open it up for discussion here in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, any,
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, they already had us doing that.
in order to avoid any confusion, this property is located across from where the city has that 2 million gallon water tank, just so you know. If you don't know, I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
okay. All right, so now we move on to the discussion for possible action. Approval of the reclassification of zoning application. Have applicant requesting the property be changed from MH2 zone, manufactured housing subdivision to C3 highway commercial district. Property address, and/or internal location of township, 60 north, range 63 east, section 622 in Nevada. As their parcel number is 001-491-70. The applicant is Just Holdings LLC, Kurt Woywood, manager. We open that up to input and discussion.
Hi, Greg Rivera, I'm here to answer any questions if you have any.
So I have a
Okay.
quick question. It looks like on page 8 of that, the request was to change it to zone C2, which would jive with what is occurring with the properties directly to the east of that. But it looks like the new request is to change it to C3. Why is that?
With C3 lies with highway frontage.
Okay.
If you look on your little table, C2 didn't address highway frontage, C3 addresses highway frontage with the same
It's basically
requirements.
the same, other than it's addressing the highway frontage, I believe.
Yes.
They haven't always made the changes on that.
Okay, so it's not the same as what's on the east side of it. Because on the east side of it is the C2.
The C2.
20 to the max.
Right, but they, but we want to make sure we have highway frontage to zoning all the way to the St. Armand Street.
Okay.
Is there any idea of what is going to be developed there?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so just getting plans ready for something.
Yes. When you have mobile home, it's hard to put in.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would just feel more comfortable if we could adjust on page 8, that map, I don't know, before we submit that approval kind of thing, because I want to make sure that that's crystal clear.
That's one of the exhibits.
Do we have a big map of that?
I think what Andy's talking about is this C2 right here.
Again, I don't know if it makes, I don't know if it makes a tremendous difference, but I think if we're gonna do it, obviously, the group to the right of it, or to the east of it, there was some confusion in that.
Yes. So you,
So that designation you would like changed to C3 on that exhibit.
I think so,
Yes,
why
right.
not, right?
I can, that's just a AutoCAD function.
Okay. Okay. And just, because I'm not up on the differences. The only difference is the fact that it has state route borderline to it, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So do I submit that in to the building department, or do I initial it, or what do you, agree to it, or do you
Can we have to accept that motion?
I think we
Is that
can
condition of
motion,
approval?
we can put a motion out
So I
there
think-
to accept with the adjustment of this map to the proper zoning.
Because the actual motion was to state C3. We just need to make sure that that map is adopted to
Correct.
say for C3.
Correct.
So I think we'll be fine.
So does anybody else have any questions?
Okay, no.
Okay, I'll make the motion to go ahead and approve this with the correction of the zone being put into C3 on the map that was given to us, and then given accordingly to, I guess, public record, where I guess is where this is gonna go into.
will be submitted to her tomorrow morning?
Okay, so I approve that, or I'll make a motion for that.
With that provision?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve this with the provision that we noted on public record of what it's zoned as. We have a second by Andy. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes.
I'm glad you saw that, because I didn't see that.
Well, it confused me at first when I first really started looking at it, and then I caught C2 and C3 and.
That confusion was my fault for, well, with the owner, we were discussing C2 and C3. And we wanted to match, and then we said, no, we want to make sure we have the highway frontage.
Okay.
And I just changed that back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Greg.
We move on to item F, special only regarding building codes in the city of Ely. Aside from what we were discussing, any,
I have nothing on that.
something good?
So I want to point out, I think
Oh.
I'm excited to hear that somebody has stepped up to the plate and is hopefully going to follow in fortitude of footsteps as the rest. So we're excited to have you and excited to work with you too, Lee.
Oh, yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Lee Walker. I'm newly appointed building official for the city of Ely and White Pine County. Yeah, and like you said, I'm excited to work with all of you as well, and still learning a lot of things and shadowing Brad, and hopefully I can live up to what Brad is leaving, so that's all I like to say.
Yeah, thank you. We're really excited.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.
Congratulations.
Yep, thanks, Greg.
Any other comments on codes? Okay. We go to approval of minutes from the Regional Planning Commission meeting held February 17th, 2021.
Carol, I just leave this up to you anymore.
All right, Elder, page 3, one little word.
All right, Carol.
Bottom paragraph, first line,
Okay,
3.
3.
They has set a flag, right?
Well, we didn't know whether it was have or had, or, but it's not has, that's for sure.
Right, okay.
And that's the only thing I could find.
Gosh, Jenny, you're good.
Oh,
You're
you're
too
doing
good.
pretty darn good, that's
So,
good.
I was reading along thinking, oh, she hasn't got a single mistake,
that's
and then I
amazing.
found that one. Reached out and got me.
Okay, with that exception, anything else? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
okay. And, motion to approve is corrected. Any seconds?
Oh, excuse me, there was one, it was a misspelling on the FERC part, it's F-E-R-C. And Jennifer, you have it spelled out right as the federal energy, but so that I should be an E when you have the
Where's
acronym.
that?
Page 4.
It's on page
second
6,
Or last,
6.
no,
or
page
I'm sorry,
4.
page 4.
Oh, okay, that's better. I don't
I
have
know
the
there is
page
no
six.
page 6.
Oh, FIRC, federal,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Okay, thank you. A minor.
Aha.
It's all very good, what she does, they all minor
Too
what
many
she's got.
acronyms.
I think her computer changes them on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, second change noted.
And I will adjust my motion to.
And I will second that motion.
Okay, Carol makes a motion to approve, Jason seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, minutes pass. We open back up to public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, for the record, all the comments I presented to you regarding the building inspector is not in regards to Mr. Walker. I didn't recognize him when he was here. I'm talking about the former inspector, and I don't want to see bad habits continue. This gentleman is not part of my concern at this time. Only that from this point forward, he also looks at the mishaps of Miss McKenzie here. She's not above the law. Mr. Chairman, Keith Carson's allowed an RV on his property on Orson Avenue. First there was one, no special permit. Then now it's up to 3, no special permit. I want to remind you that the selective enforcement in the past causing locals to go out of business, in particular the Appasechi Trailer Park. That lady put it up for sale. She can't make it because the city selectively enforces its rules and regulations. Told her she can't rent to RVs in the trailer park. Spent $19,000 fighting that, and she lost. And yet, a mere block away, we're looking the other way. You can't have it like that. You can't discriminate, and that is wrong. You need to clear it up. The sooner the better. I want to remind you on May 2nd, 2019, my brother and I got a notice in regards to RVs being on our property, that we couldn't have them there. I got 2 different citations. No one else did. Again, selective enforcement. You gotta stop that. Period. Mr. Chairman, in numerous city council and utility board meetings, I reported that numerous RVs, possibly squatters, were setting up throughout the city. Again, how many have been issued permits by you folks? How many of them were built for landfill, water, and sewer, so on and so forth? We have them set up by the old Catholic Church. We have them set up on Altman on empty lots. We have them set up on Mount Wheeler Pole Yard. We have them set up on Altman next to Hunter's. The BMX area, on and on. That needs to stop. Avenue I, park that on the street. It all depends on who you are, and that needs to stop. Again, we either have rules and regulations or we don't. I'm not going to continue getting citations and letting everybody else progress in this community. I've been here longer than all of you. I'm not gonna be discriminated by anybody, and it may come back to bite you guys. You know that there's a problem, and I've yet to see you, any of you, do anything to correct it. And you've been here even longer, Carol. Shame on you. You need to step up to the plate or step out of the way.
Time's up.
I need some answers, Mr. Chairman. You've been here long enough.
May make
Time to
note,
respond.
may make note here, comments concerning previous inspectors, building inspectors' work that he did. I see that as somewhat of a personal attack on him. And that, I should have cut you off at that point, George. So,
Do you know what the code is?
no,
I'm bringing it out.
that was a personal attack.
It
on
isn't
Brian.
an attack, sir. You've been wrong before.
Enough.
Good evening, Greg Rivera. I want to address one of the comments that Mr. Jack just made. I was the project manager and the chairman of the building committee for Learning Bridge Charter School. And I just heard that there's construction debris on the site. I will personally look into that this week, and if there is construction debris there, we will have it removed. Most of the stuff that was there on site was there prior to construction. It wasn't put there during construction. So I will get with the contractor of record and make sure that is taken care of for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, with that in mind, entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Jason, moves to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Brad seconds, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? You're adjourned, thank you so much.
George, I'll look into that. I didn't know it was there. I thought it was cleaned up. But if it was there prior to construction, I have photographs. If it was there prior to construction, I can't do anything about that.
I brought it up last year. I pulled the mayor.
Did you like that? I gotta get it.
All along Avenue M. Kids down that road, in the dirt part, right there,
Okay, that looks like that fence.
old fencing, I don't know what else they had, some old metal. And this is by, probably right across from Derby.
Okay. I'll go down there. And if it's construction debris, I will have Kelly Creek to take that off. If it was,
Okay, well, whoever put it there.
I don't know who put it
It's a
there. I
problem.
can't answer
I
that.
asked you the fences, that's all. Just so kids don't run over it. When they tore down the annex, she put a pile of debris over here.
Well, I did the Irish stew on Sunday.
Snowflake down the hill.
I love it.
So it goes like cut up pretty bad.
I kind of like the five, I barely
We
had it
don't,
last little bit.
you know, I will look into it.
Thank you. This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachis reporting.